everyone, and welcome back to the PlotCast. I'm your host, Nate Slater, here, obviously by myself this time. That's right, folks. Chris is dealing with some issues. Hopefully, he'll be back next week. That's why I'm going to make this episode short and sweet and to the point. I am here to discuss my biggest disappointments of 2025. All right, folks. So basically, this is just kind of like a rant episode. It's not going to be very long. I just want to touch on a few things that kind of disappointed me in 2025, as I mentioned earlier. And the first thing I want to bring up is a movie which was overhyped, and a lot of people loved it. Most of the critics liked it. Me, on the other hand, was skeptical because there was a movie that he did prior called Barbarian, and it totally wasn't what I expected it to be from the trailer, which, you know, you can't fault trailers all the time because it did a good job in the fact that it didn't show everything and ruin the movie. But when you see the trailer and then you have an expectation from the trailer, it kind of leaves you like, wait, this is not the movie that the trailer painted it to be. So you just kind of get lost, I guess, and wonder like, wait, what was I supposed to watch? And that was the issue with Barbarian, which wasn't last year. But in 2025, we had weapons, and like I said, it was overhyped. I watched it because I figured like I'd give the director a second chance. Went in there, the trailer was intriguing. Like, what's going on with these people? They're just running and attacking people. That had an intriguing aspect, so I was like, okay, let me give it a shot. Who's this creepy lady that's in the trailer too? Whatever. So I watched it, and sure enough, I had the same amount of disappointment for this movie as I did for Barbarian. It was intriguing for the most part, and then by the time you get halfway through, it was more or less like spoiler alert. If you haven't seen it, it's kind of like a voodoo thing. The lady kind of like puts a curse on these people, and they just go and attack people. It's crazy. At least that's what I can remember from it. Only thing I can really remember is how I it didn't really connect with me that well, and it was overhyped. I felt like it was one of those blue Avatar movies where, oh my god, it's amazing, the special effects, this, that, and the other. And then when you go and see it, people have this big talk about it, and you're just like, that was it? That's what everybody is clamoring about? I'm not impressed. Like I said, weapons did not impress me. It was a disappointment to me. And because of that, I am probably not going to go see the Resident Evil movie that this guy is making, especially after what he's been saying. How originally it was like, yeah, I only played the games and I never seen the movies. I'm going to, make it a love letter to the fans. It's going to be great. And then later on, it seems like he doubles back, and I'm not looking forward to it anymore. I don't like what he's saying. I feel like we're going down the same path with the other Resident Evil movies. So his heart's in the right place, but I feel like he's just not connecting, at least with me, where I feel like he should. The next thing I want to talk about, which is probably going to be everybody's biggest disappointment of 2025, is Stranger Things Season 5. More importantly, the second half, episodes 5 through 8. For me, Season 5, the first 4 episodes were really good. It was a good setup to get us to where we needed to go by the end. But I just felt like, at least by the 8th episode, it just fell flat. Like they said they were trying to do a whole Lord of the Rings kind of ending. I think they shouldn't have focused on that and should have focused more on the fact that, we got to make things make sense and tie in. Yeah, I get it. Maybe they couldn't get everybody to show up for the end there. A lot of people means more money. When it comes down to storytelling, the way they ended it, even the one thing when, yeah, I think Nancy, I thought she was a badass in that. I thought she was very Rambo like. I thought it was cool, girl boss, whatever. It was, to me, her girl bossness was warranted because it was kind of a steady thing for her throughout the whole show. But when she goes to like cock the assault rifle, but she's cocking the handle on top, it's a handle. You can't cock the handle, okay? So I thought that was a little weird, but other than that, it was very lackluster. Ending was too kind of, you know guess it's an open ending. People wanted a definitive ending to this for the most part, and the whole 11 thing just seemed like a giant cop out. Is she alive? Is she dead? Mike likes to think it. Yeah, I know I get it. It was kind of like Mike thinking that, he could write this or whatever. But then again, it depends on how you look at it, which I think they should have just either had it she's alive, have a little end credit scene where it confirms she's alive or dead, and just leave it at that. Episodes 5 through 8 just felt too all over the place, and they tried to tie everything up with the little end there of episode 8, but it just didn't work for me. And then next, another big disappointment for me was Captain America Brave New World. Went into that movie with, kind of low expectations, not because of the fact that it's the first movie without Chris Evans, but the fact that Marvel is at its lowest at that point, and any Marvel movie you go in to watch, you're kind of like, okay, is it going to be good or bad? Because who knows at this point? And, I'm not a fan of recasting, and the fact that they recasted William Hurt and then putting in Harrison Ford. I love Harrison Ford, Han Solo, Indiana Jones, love him, but I just when I see that face of who it is and they recast it, it just bothers me. And I really think they could have just left him out of this altogether and just write him off that he died at some point. Realistically, the whole crux of it was, the Red Hulk type of thing. And it really felt like, if you watched our review of it back in the day, it just felt like they made it Incredible Hulk 2, a sequel to the Edward Norton movie, as opposed to making it a Captain America movie. And it felt like Anthony Mackie's Captain America took a backseat to what was going on between I can't remember his name at this point, but I'll just call him Megamind. I can't remember his name, but yeah, it just felt like a Hulk movie, and if it really felt like Anthony Mackie was just an afterthought in that. And if you're gonna do a Hulk movie, at least put the Hulk in it. The other thing is too, not really a disappointment because I really liked the Thunderbolts movie. Thunderbolt Ross should have been in that movie instead of the whole Thunderbolt. Oh, it was a soccer team or whatever Black Widow was on or whatever. Captain America Brave New World, like the movie, uh, kind of. I just felt like if you're going to do it, make Captain America front and center. Could have picked somebody else, made it just about the Serpent Society, and if you're going to have Ross in it, make him like the Red Hulk, as a hint at the end of the movie, not have him like become the Red Hulk and be the bad guy, because Anthony Mackie does not have the super soldier serum. He is just a normal man with some Wakanda tech and the Cap shield trying to do the right thing. At least they got the heart of the character right. So I did like that. Moving on from that, scalpers. That's right, those dirty scalpers. Pokemon, the card game in 2025, was a real downer for a lot of the people who wanted to collect and play the game. Scalpers were everywhere. The moment you try and get something in your cart online, it's gone. The moment you try and go into a store, it's gone. Someone's there trying to cut in line and just take the joy out of people's lives. Come on, it's cardboard, people. Yes, I do like pack openings and stuff on my channel, but I'm not necessarily doing it to get rich. I'm just doing it for fun, so you guys can have fun and watch me do it. But it 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 just boggles my mind that something from when I was a kid blew up relatively. I guess you could say it blew up about the same as Star Wars did in the amount of fame it's got. But at least the card aspect, there's no decency in this world anymore. Like, you see people going on lines, like I said, cutting in front of each other. One person will buy like a whole pallet, and when somebody asks, even a little kid, they're like, no. Like, come on, they're a kid, people. It's cardboard. Yes, you're gonna scalp it and make a ton of money by reselling it to people online. Yes, I have spent some money on it, just on a few things. 151 I collect, and I'm still trying to get the master set. But you know what? I'm not happy paying these prices, and I'm not gonna pay them anymore. That's why I've been looking for the deals. And the thing that sucks now is that 151 is going out of print in the next couple months. So prices are going to be through the roof. I pray that at least the Pokemon Company gets one more print out for everybody, like a massive one, to try and let people get their hands on it before it's done. But I don't think it's going to happen. Um, but what I'm trying to say with this part is, come on, people. Think about other people. Everybody's trying to make some money, but if you're in a store and you're buying a whole pallet, you can let some people have one or two. Come on. Greed is bad, folks. Anyway, last but not least, like I said, this is a short one this week. I want to talk about the non-release of Grand Theft Auto 6. That thing was supposed to come out, and then it was supposed to come out early 2026. And then now it's at the very end of 2026. I fell off of Grand Theft Auto when San Andreas came out. I tried it, it just didn't click with me. And then I tried Grand Theft Auto 4 to that game. I didn't like it at all. I played it for 2 hours and then sold it. I just couldn't connect with that at all. It just was a disappointment. Then 5 came out. I decided not to play it because of, San Andreas and 4, how that felt to me. And then it came out on PS4, so I gave it a shot because all my friends were playing it. So I got it. I played it. Loved the story. It was fun. I do wish they did more with it, like DLC and stuff. But now Grand Theft Auto 5 put faith in Grand Theft Auto 6 for me. Plus, it's going back. I live in Miami. It's going to take place in Florida all over again. Like I said, hopefully we get some like Tommy Vercetti cameo or something. Yeah, I know Ray Liotta's passed away, but they could just maybe have a painting or a picture, if they have Winwood kind of in there, paint them on one of the walls of the buildings or something. I think that'd be cool. But only thing I hope about Grand Theft Auto 6 is that they're really taking their time and they really want a full experience. They want a full story experience, I hope. And I also hope that they have a better multiplayer experience because I was not a fan of Grand Theft Auto 5 online. It just got too repetitive for me. But then again, it's Grand Theft Auto. You can't expect much, I guess, from online play. You're just gonna do heists over and over again, and I don't know. I am interested in this crypto thing that they talked about. They're gonna implement in it, so we'll see how that goes. See if it makes people money. Then again, that goes right back to the greed thing I was talking about. But I really was looking forward to Grand Theft Auto 6 last year. It didn't come out, but maybe it's for the best. Maybe this is going to be the most amazing game ever. Sucks that we're probably going to have to pay $100 for it with inflation and the fact that this is like a multi-billion-dollar game. Uh, Not looking forward to that, but I am looking forward to the amount of hours I'll put into it. Uh, but really, that's it, folks. I don't really have much more to say. Those were my 5 biggest disappointments. I'm sure there's others, but I'm pretty sure Chris had some too, but he's not here. But we'll see him hopefully next week. And that, my friends, is pretty much it for this episode of the PlotCast. Like I said, it was going to be a short one. It's just me this time. I just had to do my little rant. Hopefully, 2026 is going to give us some great stuff. Hopefully, this Resident Evil movie that's coming out isn't a disappointment. I will definitely look at the reviews. Obviously, I already know the reviews are going to probably be between a 5 and a 7 for this movie. If it's anything higher, I will watch it. I'll probably watch it anyway. It's Resident Evil. Stranger Things. They're gonna have some spin-offs. They have an animated one, and then they have a live action that they're working on. I'm intrigued, but I might be off the bandwagon after this. As far as Marvel goes, we got some cool stuff this year. Hopefully, Wonder Man, the show's good. Hopefully, the other shows coming out, Avengers, Spider-Man, looking forward to those. Scalpers, folks, be nice to your neighbors. Come on. At least if you're buying like 10 of something and you're in the store and you see a little kid there, give them one. Come on. It's a kid. Last but not least, we better get Grand Theft Auto 6 this year. And with that, I'm all out of gas, folks. If you don't know who we are Plot Hole Productions, and you just watched the PlotCast. Leave a comment down below. Let me know your thoughts on my little rant here. I know it's not a stark raving mad rant, but it's something. And if you haven't already, like and subscribe to keep up to date on all things Plot Hole Productions. I'm Nate Slater, and I'll catch you all in the void. I don't know what I'm going to do without Chris. Chris has just disappeared on me.